So I was in the gas station the other day and I see this nice young lady come walking in. So I pop up from behind the candy aisle like a fucking creep. No worries, she couldn't see me because the Butterfingers was behind me and my light-skinned ass blended in like a fucking tiger. So I'm looking at her. She has a nice smile, nice hair. I could only see her head and shoulders from this angle, so I had one nagging thought in the back of my mind. I bet she got a fat ass. So I get my stuff and I get in line behind her. And y'all may not notice about me, but I have a nice girlfriend. I love the girlfriend I love so very much. So I did what any sensible young man would do in this situation. And I looked at that ass, boy, like I was all up in that ass. Pupil to colon. I had pink eye by the time she left the store. And so the nice lady behind the cash register, she was like, well, you was looking at her hard enough, you might as well go get her. And I'm like, nah, she doesn't quite tickle my fancy. And she's like, why? She looks to be around your age. She has a nice petite body like she works out. And I'm like, that's exactly the problem. Too young, too skinny. See, I like my women like spoiled milk, old and thick. I'm what you call a cougar hunter. I like older women because I've always had a problem hitting it off with the younger women because I grew up in a generation where they say light-skinned men are played out. The women that like me, they grew up listening to Prince. Yeah, man, I don't like young women because they got too many games with them. You know what I'm saying? The thing they like to do is catfishing. Y'all know what catfishing is? You know, well, in 2019, I don't see how people can get catfished because we got Facebook, FaceTime, Snapchat, Twitter. We literally can get all the whole facts at the click of a button. And these people be deeply in love with people they never met before. Call me old-fashioned, but I can't see myself falling in love with a woman until she at least let me suck her toes first. Don't judge me. It's 2019, no fetish shaming. But the crazy thing is that catfishing has been going on since the beginning of time. Just read the Bible. The Virgin Mary, catfish. She had Joseph thinking that he was first round draft pick to clap those cheeks. But then she hit him with the, oh, I'm impregnated with the Son of God. And he didn't have any proof, so he was just like, word. If they had Facebook back then, he would have been seeing Mary fucking around Jerusalem before she even came towards the manger. Soon as she would have came in there, he would have been like, heathen, get away from me. Somebody come stone this bitch. Now, the funny thing is that Joseph's not the only one. I myself have been catfished before. Back in high school, let me tell you about it. Long story short, my homeboy had got us a hookup with his two Latina chicks. He gave me the number, and I called her. And I low-key catfished her first, because you know how us men do when we talk on the phone with women. We don't answer it like, hello, how you doing? No, we got to use our deep voice. So I called her, and she's like, hello, Poppy. I'm like, hey, how you doing, girl? Heard you was checking for me, blah, blah, blah. So she's just like, ooh, I really love your voice. And I'm like, I love your voice too. I want you to call me Poppy when I see you tomorrow at school. So fast forward, we get to school. I see my homeboy by the lockers, and he's like, okay, there go the chicks right there. So judging by the conversation last night on the phone about her voice, I'm thinking I got this sexy Latina firecracker, this Jennifer Lopez lookalike. So I turn around and I see her walking down the hallway. Long hair flowing in the wind, nice brown skin, curves in all the right places. And I look back at my homeboy and I'm like, hey, bruh, you really looked out on this one. And he was like, nah, bro, that's my girl. There go yours right there. Tell me why when I turn around, I see this Dr. Seuss animal coming up, hey, Poppy, trying to give me a hug. But I'm a nice guy. So I did what any sensible young man would do. And I said, heathen, get away from me. Somebody come stone this bitch. And I took out. Ran away, never to see her again. Which was kind of crazy because I live in a small town in South Carolina where we see everybody like 3 times a week at the same Walmart. Speaking of South Carolina, I don't really like to tell people I'm from South Carolina. Like, I don't like when I meet people from up north or Midwest and I tell them I'm from South Carolina because they automatically think I'm the most country bumpkin person in the room. They hit me with some stuff like, oh, South Carolina, eh? Don't all you guys do is drink moonshine, drive your tractors, and fuck your cousins? And I'll be offended. I'm like, sir, we don't all drive tractors. Now, if you excuse me, I got a family reunion to go to. I got a hot date tonight. And the reason why that's funny because there is some truth to that. As a matter of fact, I'm walking truth. I almost fucked one of my cousins. Let me tell you about it. So I was texting this chick, and I seen that the text message conversation wasn't going anywhere. And in hindsight, I understand because she's my cousin, but in the moment, I wanted some pussy. So the text message conversation isn't going nowhere, and I figured it was time to hit her with Old Faithful. I call this Old Faithful because this line works 100% of the time. 100% of the time. I whip up my phone, I start to text her, do you want to see my dick? And she texts me like, no, ew, you're my cousin. Oh, it was a travesty, man, a travesty, I tell you. It wasn't a travesty because she was my cousin. It was a travesty because I still wanted to have sex with her. So I did what any sensible young man would do, and I had to make some calls. I had to see just how much my cousin she was, you know. I tried to see if I could sanction this incest. So I called my auntie. I'm like, auntie, how am I kin to Patricia? She's like, Patricia, that's your daddy, cousin, sister, aunt, daughter. I'm like, word, that's my daddy, cousin, sister, aunt, daughter? She's like, yeah, that's your daddy, cousin, sister, aunt, daughter. Why? Love you, auntie, bye. I couldn't answer that question for auntie. No. So I'm at home contemplating like daddy's cousin, sister, aunt, daughter. That's at least fourth or fifth cousin, but that's still my cousin, so that's nasty. But hell, bitches like nasty niggas, so if I get her on the team, I get guaranteed pussy at any cookout. So I started back texting her, but she was fucking tripping, man. She didn't want to give me no butt, man. So I did what any sensible young man would do. I started texting her cousin. You want to see my dick?